You know, we have all heard the encouraging words from our startup Grand Dame, Selma, and I hope our startups are ready to pitch now in front of our expert jury, because it is time to kick off the BoostUp CLC East 2022 event. For this occasion, I would like to introduce to you our Senior Business Creation Manager and host of the BoostUp CLC East competition. She and I celebrated our 100th birthday last year, and it was not 50-50. Yasmina is an experienced manager with over 15 years in fund management, financial services industry. Yasmina has been working in various roles with startups and innovative SMEs in the last 8 years as a fund manager, evaluator, startup mentor, and I'm very happy and glad she's part of our team. Yasmina, it's all yours.
So, welcome to the BoostUp competition. We are starting with really nice selected startups and scale-ups. First, we start actually with the scale-ups, the ones that are quite mature. They have sometimes more than 30 employees already, so going to the SME category. I'm very excited because it was around 3 to 4 months that we were working on this program to prepare everything, to invite the startups to come to Vienna. We selected out of 38, 16 startups that are with us this week and are having fun during Vienna. And I'm really happy that the jury took really time to select the 5 that will pitch in the Supercharge category and the 5 that will pitch afterwards at 1 o'clock in the switch-on category. Switch-on category, it's for very early stage. Sometimes these are teams, not even companies yet, but very, very innovative. So it's my pleasure today to introduce the jury. We have representatives from investment community, as you already met Hans, but also we have corporate representatives and cluster representatives. So I will start with the lady, Martina Malakova. She is joining us from Slovakia. Martina is CEO and founder of Electric. And she is the president of an innovative industry cluster from Slovakia, representing the industry and EIT manufacturing community. So, Martina, thank you very much for joining us today. And I would like to ask you, what are your expectations from the startups?
Thank you very much for having me today here. It is a very big pleasure for me. Expectation for me, inspiration, talents, new ideas, and our best future for everybody. Thank you.
Will you bring them to the Slovak cluster members?
Sure. It will be an obligation.
Thank you. So next we have Helmut Wogner from Andritz, the Vice President for Business Development and Mergers and Acquisitions. So startups, be careful. So Helmut, what a corporate would advise today to the startups? What to pay attention to their pitches if they would like to work with you?
Good morning. It's always also a pleasure to be here and to learn from the startups who will present. What could I give in advice? Be precise, which solution you offer, which market you address, and also what's your business model and the revenue model basically you have in mind. And also tell us how we can make a good collaboration with you. I think this is the very important thing I would like to hear from you today.
Good advice. Thank you very much, Helmut. So you will be having the chance after the pitches to talk a bit with Andritz and maybe discuss some business. And next we have Peter Koffer, coming from our member, voestalpine, High Performance Metals. He's coming from optimization of processes in voestalpine, and he's quite supportive in all our Discover Vienna activities. He will be with the startups with a private session on Friday, talking about real innovation challenges that they can solve together. So, Peter, how is it today in this panel? We have 5 startups coming from 5 CE countries. As BoostUp, do you prefer working with local or international startups, and what do you see as a value when you work with both of them?
So first of all, let me say good morning also from my side, and thank you for the invitation to join the jury today. It's a great honor for me. So coming back to your question, it's not at all we only focus on working with Austrians or German startups. I think it really doesn't matter where the people come from. It's really about the ideas or the products that they have and how they can help us as a company to go further, to take the next step. And that's what it's all about. So I'm super excited for today to see the ideas, to see how the companies or the startups present themselves. And that's all that matters. And that's why we're also working with EIT Manufacturing, because there is this huge network. We can meet a lot of startups and interesting projects. So that's why we are part of it since almost the beginning of it, yes.
Thank you very much, Peter. So BoostUp especially is looking for startups in the decarbonization topics, circular economy. So if anybody in the audience is interested also in those topics, you can freely approach Peter after the session. So now to the fun part. We will have an icebreaker coming from Romania, Adapta Robotics. We have Mihai Alexandru together with us, the CEO of Adapta Robotics. So Mihail, are you ready to be the first one? We started alphabetically. So it's not from the best to the last, but I believe that Mihail is well prepared to be the best one, right?
Let's hope so. Let's hope so. Okay, good. So my name is Mihai Crăciunescu. I represent Adapta Robotics. It's a scale-up slash spin-off based in Bucharest, Romania. Let me see if this works first. Yeah. So we are a robotics company. We are building physical robots. We started in 2018 once we obtained research EU found that help us develop MET. That's our first product. And afterwards we started working on Eris, which is a retail robot. And right now we have under development 2 additional projects that we work on. The team, myself, Diana and Christy, we met inside of University Polytechnic of Bucharest, which is the largest university in Romania, and we formed a group back in 2012. Our scope was to create robots for competitions, and we've won throughout the years around 120 prizes, and based on that knowledge we try to transfer it into a robotics company. We have 2 main products right now. One is MET, the other one is Eris. MET has 3 different versions. 2 of them, the Delta robots, the black one, are our IP. The third one, it's a robot that we're purchasing from the market and customize it. Depending on the customer needs, the size, and what the customer needs to do, we sell one of those units. The biggest one is for usually infotainment systems or cockpits inside airplanes, the smaller one for phones, tablets, and so on. On the other hand, we have Eris, which we have a working prototype now deployed in Carrefour, and we developed the second version that will build pretty soon, and you can see a render over there. So what MAT does? MAT basically can simulate interaction with any device. So it can simulate human interaction, like tap, pinch, zoom in, zoom out. It can press button, can recognize elements on the screen based on computer vision and AI. So it can automate the interaction with any device. So that makes it pretty helpful at any stages of the development, from R&D side to actually manufacturing, repair, and even performance testing. Eris tries to solve the problem of labels discrepancies. So especially big retailers, they have paper labels, and at some time, the prices that are displayed do not correspond with the actual prices of that product. And right now, the process is highly manual, so somebody has to go and scan each barcode and see if the price displayed is right on or not. And usually for an aisle, it takes like 2 hours to do that. With our robot, you can do it in 5 minutes. Some figures regarding the market. What we saw as a robotics company, especially after the pandemics, usually people are more try to or more open to the idea of using a robot inside their businesses, especially more conservatory businesses like retail, that they don't really are flexible to new and innovative solution to scale up. So that's pretty interesting on our side. Regarding competition, we have a couple of them on mat. Usually our competition goes with off-the-shelf robots, and they are trying to customize it for a specific use case. That makes the solution a little bit more expensive and also harder to customize it for different customers. On Aries side, all of our customers went in a direction of autonomous robots, so a robot that can drive itself. From our point of view, that makes the solution a little bit more expensive, sometimes even more expensive if the robot has to be certified and so on. So we went in a direction that human also has to be involved into the whole process, and that will reduce the cost, and of course it will add more safety measurements to the whole unit. Our current customers on mat, we have quite a lot from different industries, but from what we saw, even if they are from different industry, their needs is pretty much the same. So company from automotive may have the same needs as a company in let's say manufacturing or in automotive, for example. So with mat, we have really big players. With Aries, we just started with Carrefour. As a growth plan, that's what we expect. Nowadays, we want to invest heavily in marketing and sales. So all of our leads till now are inbound, and here is where we need some help to gain some traction. That's about it from my side. Thank you very much. If you have questions.
It was a really good pitch for a start. Thank you very much for making the atmosphere exciting. I'm now opening the floor to the jury members for questions. We have 5 minutes to ask some additional questions if anything was not clear. So we can start from any volunteers.
What is your revenue generation model? Are you selling the robots or any additional services?
Yeah, we sell the robot together with customization if needed. We also have maintenance contracts that the client may opt for or not, that will generate us recurring revenue. Some customers decide to take them, some of them don't. It's up to the customer. But we usually offer services, development services. We also offer support, customization, things like that, depending on the customer use case.
How many pieces have you sold already?
On mat, we sold around 30, give or take, yeah.
And Aries?
So Aries is just one, is the prototype that we developed together with Carrefour. So while we are waiting to develop the second version, that one will do all the certifications, CE certification and so on, in order to be able to sell it as a product.
How do you track the test results of the devices which you are testing? And how is this then fitted back to your clients?
Well, the robot is on the client premise, so they are doing the testing. We provided is a tool. We are doing the training on their side, on their engineers. Now, depending on their use case, they may already have some tools. For example, in automotive, they already have some existing tools that they are doing testing right now. So it's our job to integrate with those existing tools. For some other customers, we can create something for them, and that's one of the additional revenue model that we have. So depending the way that they want to see the data, we can create something for them if they don't have something already. Yeah.
Okay, and how easy is it to automate the robot that it can do the testing? Is this a task of one day, of a week? How do you integrate the robot into the testing and quality control area of the customer?
Yeah, so we have multiple APIs. I don't want to go in the technical side, but we can offer a Python API. We can also have a web server API that you can connect to a server that can run anywhere in the building or near near the robot. But we also created our framework in such a way that even a human or a test engineer that does not know how to program can use the robot. So we have a low-code interface that can generate the code for you.
Okay. Do you sell basically through value-added resellers, or you have your own sales network or agents?
Direct sales. Till now, direct sales. We are open to partnerships, but till now we did not find the right partner.
Okay, yeah. Thank you.
No problem.
What do you find as the big issues about your product?
There
for selling, for putting in the corporate.
So what is missing right now is the sales effort and marketing presence. So as I said, all of our clients are inbound, and we need to push even more in order to gain more new clients.
Okay, I have a question regarding almost your last slide. It said complementary robot services also as a stream there. Is it around these two products, Aries and MUD, or is it also meant that you can offer other services?
Also the other robots that are in development right now. Yeah.
So you're focusing mainly on these two products also in the near future.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Right
Thank
on
you.
time. Thank you, and big applause once more. After the robotic solution, we have a bit of a different technology. From Greece, we have today with us SaleSqueze representing Pragma-IoT. It is a spin-off of CERT Institute in Thessaloniki, and they will present their AR, VR solution, AI solutions, and IoT solutions. Thank you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
It's okay. Thank you very much for the kind introduction. I'm Dr. SaleSqueze, and I'm going to present you an AR on-the-job training toolkit from Pragma. Pragma is a spin-off company of CERT, one of Center for Research and Technology, one of the largest research institutes in research center in Greece, and is established 5 years ago in 2017. And it's related, its customer and services that provides, it's related to AR, to Internet of Things, and information analysis and artificial intelligence. Here is the main team. It has 9 founders. 7 of them holds a PhD on AR, Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, and computer visions. We have a good seniority also. We have about 30 employees, not including the founders. We have won in a variety of competitions, while 6 months ago, we have our first inventors, angel inventor. Now, what is the problem? Competition in manufacturing and in industry, it's mainly based on the industrial, on the training of the employees. So they have to build up a very good and qualified and adaptable workforce. So in this case, they have to transform the training of their employees from the traditional one to a fully remote one, to a fully automated, based on the AR. So they have to incorporate new technologies, intelligence, and technologies. In this case, also, they have to integrate Internet of Things. Also, except from training, they have to support remote assistance and also remote maintenance, intelligence maintenance. And here we can see in the market a very huge opportunity, within the last very, very new market analysis shows that within the next 6 years, we see a 30% of CAGR, also based on the 73 billion euros, where the augmented reality will be in almost all domains of our everyday life. So Pragma has an AR software platforms which is utilized for both training, maintenance, supporting, also having 3D simulations, and also supporting direct training verification. Also, the solutions here supporting knowledge sharing among the platform, also an easy way for the operation standards, procedures, digitization, and also having 3D visualizations, markerless augmented reality, and also remote assistance. Regarding competitions, also supports wearable devices, gamifications, which is a very good trend, also object recognitions, gesture recognitions, and verification of the training. Now here is the tractions. We have the majority of the traction of the Pragma customers. It's mainly on the Greece. The last year we have from Portuguese, from Cyprus. Also we have strategic cooperations from Samsung, which runs of the largest cooperation. Lascaridis shipping and also Kliman. Here it's our growth plan. Here, the last 5 years, we try from 2017 to reach 1 million after 5 years ago. And now our thoughts, our, how can I say it, our growth plan is to make our company 10 times larger, having our revenues in all our cases. So we have, in this case, remote assistance. We need remote training, AR training. Pragma platform is our solutions. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Stelios. I hope that the jury had the opportunity to learn more about the solution. It's always different from written applications and pitch decks and from presentations in live. And now you have the chance also to ask questions. Martina, please.
Which kind of client do you focus on?
We are mainly focusing on industrial and manufacturing clients, but also we have used it within a research project for education purposes also. But mainly we are targeting for manufacturing and industrial.
Okay, but for corporates or for SMEs, for example?
For both of them. We have targeted also for, we have one client, let's say, for Kliman elevators, for training the employees how to install the elevators within the building. And also we have some clients from the cement industry.
I have to admit that I didn't really get the point how it works. How do you get the input for the training? The content?
The content, we take it from the company. We have an easy way to digitize the operational procedure, the standard operational procedures, and incorporate it within our platform, making the 3D simulations, and so through the augmentations, understand the user how to train while on the job, making his job that doing things. Please do in this way it, augment it with 3D simulations, then try to do it, and then the systems also verify the movement if he did it well, making also some marks, some gamifications, and try to understand how can improve his skills. So without the need of a skillful employees and no lost money, just try to training him, to educate him how to do his work. Also in new technologies for the old employees, and also the new employees how to use the current technology that we have in our manufacturing, in our industry.
To create the input, is this also part of your offer?
Yes, okay. Yes.
So we should create the client pays you for creating the input.
Mm-hmm, yes,
or the content.
3D digitization, movements, and all this stuff. Yes,
the customer pays you for that.
Yes.
Could you name an example from the manufacturing industry?
Some names from our customers.
Not necessarily the names, but I don't know, problems that you addressed or solutions that you found for manufacturing industry.
Yes, the problem is that I said you that one characteristic industrial, it's the Kleman, the Kleman elevators, which is have the 10% of the elevators in global, and they try to sell them now the AR installation of the elevators. This is where we use it. We use one of the greatest projects. Another is that we use it in automotive, but now it's in our contract phase, so we will see in our see how can we proceed.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry.
Thank you. Thank you. If you implement your product in the industry company, you use IT of the company, or you also put your hardware there?
No, if they have a good IT department and provide us some materials, if they have some digital forms of the materials that are going to be used, then yes, we need them, and they will provide it to us. But if they don't have, then we are going there so as to learn the overall procedure, to digitize the procedure, digitize the objects, and incorporate them inside our solution, inside the platform, and fix the overall augmented reality solution.
You want to tenfold your sales in the next couple of years. What channels to the market do you want to establish?
This is one of the challenges that we met right now, our company. We have the investors try that I mentioned, it's try to open some how can I say it, some doors through the Lascaridis cooperation, also through Samsung we have some cooperations, and now we try to expand in Europe through RECAP, Slovakia, in Portugal, and try to expand it also here. And we hope also here to make some cooperation here in Vienna and proceed in this way.
So you want to find local partners?
Yes, yes, of course.
We have time for one more question. So, please.
You mentioned before that you digitize basically the actions of the workers or so. Do you film them with a camera or how do you set up the training model? Because in our company, we also have such a startup as I could guess you do it. And we are dependent on 3D drawings from 3D Inventor or so on to really set up a good training model. But how do you do it?
No, we do not use video. We can use video, but our idea is to do it completely with augmented reality. For example, let's say HoloLens glasses, we use it, and then while doing his normal work, seeing the object and his reality over here, then the augmented 3D results are open, are there, moving, and show them, teaching him how to do his work, how to do its steps, and of course, verify then its steps. If I understand.
We can detail this later.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay.
One big applause for Stelios.
Yeah.
And the next team is coming from Croatia. It's a bit of a different robotics solution. The company is Robotiq.ai. And we have today with us Mario Dodik, the new Market Partnership Vice President of the company. He will explain how they help manufacturers in automation of business processes smartly. So Mario, the floor is yours.
Hello, everybody. I'm Mario from Robotiq.ai. In modern manufactories today, we use a lot of robotics and automation in order to make processes faster, safer, and more accurate. In fact, to make people more productive and businesses more profitable. But we do often see that in the same manufactories, in department parts of these same manufactories, we treat people like robots, assigning them with boring, tedious, manual, repetitive, time-consuming, and prone to mistake tasks. It doesn't have to be that way. Robotic process automation is actually a software that can take over those tasks from humans. By mimicking those tasks, we can automate that. According to most researchers, almost half of all administrative tasks can be automated using digital robots. When we look at the market of RPA today and look at a little bit in the future, we can see that it has been growing on a steady pace, and it's going to continue to grow in the following years. However, there are no dominant players on the market yet. We hope to change that. We are a company from Zagreb, Croatia, founded in 2018 by a group of 3 friends, all of them experts in their own fields, who quit their jobs from companies like Microsoft, Siemens, and UniCredit, and decided to build RPA platform from scratch. The early investor were company M&I Systems from Serbia, and soon after we received a seed investment from JNT Fund Ventures company from Czech Republic. Also, people started to join us, and fast forward today in 2022, we can say, self-sustainable company. Looking at our sales pipeline and our projections, we hope and we can be quite sure to say that by the end of this year we can double these figures. When we talk about customers, what you can see here on this slide is that there are customers from, let's say, all over the place, any practical industry. We have manufacturing companies, we have banks, we have audit companies, insurance companies, big companies, small companies, technological companies, unicorns, etc. All of that actually proves the point that the RPA is industry agnostic technology. It doesn't matter in what industry you are. The only thing that matters, that we are focused on, is the process itself. So, why did we decide to build another RPA product? The answer is quite simple. The available solutions on the market a few years ago were quite complex. Even though they claimed to be low code or no code, you still needed a bunch of specific skills in order to be able to develop and maintain the process. Next, the initial investments were often too high, meaning you needed at least, let's say, 30,000 euros just to start with. Also, there were support and scale problems. How do we know that? We know that because we talk to customers from all over the world practically every day. Another thing, our founders in early days were working with some of our competitors' solutions in their previous jobs. So we developed simple but robust and straightforward solution. Simple to use, simple to develop, simple to maintain, and simple to understand solution. We have innovative licensing and pricing model, meaning we only charge you for the robot itself. To be more precise, we only have 2 items in our price lists. And third, it's completely risk-free for our customers, meaning they can quit any time they want, for any reason they want. If you want to hear more, you can catch up with me today and tomorrow, or contact us on our website or our LinkedIn page or our Facebook page. Thank you.
So, jury, any questions ready?
I think an important part is the process discovery. Which possibilities do you see here? How is this very repetitive processes then monitored basically by your system? that we could install a soft robot?
That's actually something that we are working on right now, and that's the reason why we believe we can change the whole industry.
Yes, so how do it? Is it that the worker or the office clerk has to do it basically, and you monitor it in the background, and then the RPA solution does the same, or how is this basically? We have been testing these solutions for a couple of years, have installed some of them, but over the last 2 years didn't do anything further. So
we know that. We've heard similar stories. So that's why we are working on something that we call code discovery. And it's going to, we hoped and we are quite sure that it's going to change the industry totally, because it's going to be much more easier to discover the process and to automate it later. I cannot tell you more because it's a kind of a... But we already seen that we've been copied by big players.
Okay.
We can talk maybe later.
We experienced that there is very scarce capacity, at least before COVID. So it was very difficult to get a consultant, to get access to these robotic process solutions. It was very costly. They asked for 20,000 or 30,000 euros to only start with. So if you have a solution which is easier and cheaper, I think this is a product which is demanded by the market.
Yes, I can share the price now with you guys. It's we only charge you for the robot itself. You have two options, junior bot and senior bot. And we charge you on a monthly fee, and that's it. 400 euros or 800 euros a month. They are completely the same. The only difference is in the execution time per day. And that's it. Of course, you also have to pay for the implementation costs and services, but we also can give you we can teach you how to create processes on your own, because we have an academy, so we have customers, some of our customers use that solution or an opportunity, so they created their own center of excellence, so they don't have to pay anybody to do the implementation. They just pay for the license.
Okay, there's a saying, if you automate a mess, you get an automated mess.
Exactly.
So question is, are you already also working on simplifying the process itself before using a software robot? Are you helping with that?
What we do tell our customers always is optimize first, automate later. Because if you don't do that, you can end up with what we call a Frankenstein process, and nobody's going to be happy. What we see, RPA is a part of a business process management or business process optimization. So always optimize first and automate later, and we can help you with that, because we have a business analyst in our company. We have about a dozen consultants, RPA consultants with a lot of experience already. So yeah, that's the idea. Always optimize first and then automate later. Thank you.
One more question, please. Anybody? Hans? No? Martina? Okay. Perfect. So a big applause.
Thank you.
And the fourth pitch is coming from Slovakia. We have Vladimir Mahevka, member of the board of RVmagnetics. Welcome.
Thank you.
Please come on stage, Vladimir, and you can start your pitch. RVmagnetics have a breakthrough innovation in the sensors, so listen carefully.
Thank you for the kind introduction. So, hi, good morning. My name is Vladimir. I represent, as being said, RVmagnetics, and basically who we are. We're a company based out of Košice, Slovakia, 16 team members, highly skilled, highly educated. We applied for a patent earlier this year based on the unique sensing technology represented by the unique sensing method and also by the material science hidden in the microwire sensors. So the market need we're addressing is basically the market is hungry for smartified materials and the data that can be extracted from the sensors, basically. And we're trying to push this frontier of mining the physical data from our clients' process product materials or spare parts. How do we do that? We do that, the answer is and always have been the innovation, science, R&D, and hell lot of testing. So the solution you can see on the left-hand side is the microwire sensor passive element unpowered that can be embedded in a number of materials, including human tissue, and needs to be paired with a data acquisition device presenting itself as a set of coils, PCB, and chip. The data we extract are basically pressure, temperature, magnetic field, position or displacement, if you will, vibration, and beyond. Our work is basically with the industries where we can create value for our clients. And typically within composites area, it is by introducing the sensors, you introduce a structural flow. We don't. In electric motor, rotary type of movement, any power wiring represents a problem in the rotary. Batteries, lots of electric and magnetic noise. So the benefits we create for the client is basically by presenting this data that we open the new sensing possibilities beyond the commercially available sensors and allow our clients to act on this data in structural health monitoring, non-destructive testing, and predictive maintenance, in also keep an eye on sustainability. So our market is basically represented by double-digit growth, whether in the area of smartification, but also in our own backyard in the arena of smart sensors and microsensors. And the two scenarios, how to look at us from the competition point of view, is that either way, we are competing with every sensor company out there that does temperature and pressure sensors. That's not the game we want to play. Because we'd be competing on price, whether we like it or not, and we add up the different adjectives, so it's micro size, contactless, real-time, multifunctional, energy effective, and so on, all the way up to elegant the Wollmilchsau, which is too good to be true. But we're in the green or blue spots in this funnel. So our business model is represented in 3 steps. Basically, the first one is a proof of concept, this R&D type of work that should qualify us and validate the technology for our clients to move on to the prototyping stage, which is better rewarded, but still at a cost-based approach. The ultimate goal is get to the third part, which is the commercialization, where we translate the fruits of our work to become a supplier of the microwire. That homework has a great pitfall that we need to align with the client's go-to-market plan, and basically that's our sales channel at the end that they integrate us. But the great reward is that we manufacture these microwire sensors from 1 gram of metallic alloy up to 100,000 in roughly 10 minutes. So you can imagine the margin no matter what the metal we use. So that's the homework for 2023 and 2024 to basically translate this and add up to our balance sheet. The traction is that currently we prototype for 8 clients. All of them are confidential, 4 of them Fortune 500 companies representing composite markets dominantly, but also rotary movement projects and specific projects for the sensor industry. So we're looking for the clients who are willing to go all the way with us to the very end, to the industrialization phase. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Vladimir. So, jury members, probably a lot of questions.
Hello? Now it's working okay. I maybe have a bit specific question. I saw in one of your other slides or on your website that you can detect inner inclusions in steel manufacturing. How does that work?
So that works by creating magnetic field along the steel sheet that travels on a conveyor belt or the full speed of production line. And by creating the magnetic field from the bottom in sensing from the above, we see the difference in the response. So any inner inclusion that is hidden to the naked eye view inside the steel would present itself as a different difference in the magnetic response. So. Yep.
So you're talking about sheet metal?
Yes.
Up to a certain thickness?
Certain thickness, yeah. Because, we posted, I think, last week or the week before, sensing through the inox steel pipe of 2 millimeters thick. So the interrogator with the sensor works on a distance up to 10 centimeters, and it gives us a lot of use cases, but shrinks with the metal or magnetic object coming in between the sensor and the data acquisition device.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
So you're working with magnetic fields?
Not myself, but my colleagues do.
Yeah. The company.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
it's well embedded in the name of RVmagnetics.
Yeah, yeah. And this is you're working with a physical effect of hysteresis, or what kind of physical effect is?
Okay. How that came to be is that Professor Varga, our founder, who spent 25 years basically researching this domain walls in magnetism, came to work with the microwires and bistable microwires and so on and so forth, and that's how he figured out the unique, innovative way of sensing based on the domain wall propagation velocity. So he spent 25 years developing this idea all the way up to setting up the company in 2015 and handpicked the 12-member R&D team. All of colleagues on that side of business are PhDs, doctors, and led by professors. So it's quite a dense R&D team we have to work on the magnetism, specifically magnetic microwires, bistable ones.
And you're producing the wires by yourself? Or?
Yes, we do.
Okay. The business model is that you try to find customers and customize more or less to the needs of the customers their specific solution.
That is correct.
Okay. So you're an engineering company.
Depends on how we look at it. In certain phases, we are research, in certain phases, development, in certain phases, we turn to engineering, where there's a lot of testing involved, and in a certain phase, and step number 3, where we be hoping to get in 2023 and not in 2024, that's where we become supplier and a consultant, basically. So the path involves different roles of the company every step of the way.
Thank you. I saw that to customize your products, it could take more than 18 months. And do you think that, for example, for industrial companies, for example, for automobile companies, it is not too long, so it is the chance that it could decrease this time?
Yes and no, but the typical path we take is that we work with tier 1, tier 2 or OEMs, not necessarily directly with car assemblers. The shortest case for the development phase we had was 6 months, from signing the agreement all the way up to the prototype. But typically, if it is a more complex project, there is no way to develop that and test it for the repeatability and everything under 12. So as much as we'd love to skip certain phases, there's still a great deal of R&D involved, and we can't betray that.
Thank you very much. One more question.
I've seen that your sense is very small. So I assume in a testing environment you install a couple of these small sensors. Can you describe how such a testing device or setup of yours look like and which problem it solves?
Okay. So we have two ways of introducing the sensor. One is embedding it inside the material. Another one is connected with an adhesive layer on the material surface. There's two options here. How it looks like, every case is different. We do have a number of equipment where we perform tests all the way up to 24 hours continuous mechanical tests. When it comes to testing the temperature, we have to use autoclaves and different thermal chambers and so on. So each case is different. Sometimes we co-develop specific test bench with clients so that first we conduct the testing in our lab and that it's being shipped to the client and tested there.
Thank you very much, Vladimir. So a big applause for RVmagnetics. So the last but not the least presenter coming directly from Slovenia, a small country with great engineers. We have Leon Pancher. Is it right?
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
It's hard to pronounce, though.
Yeah. Co-founder and CEO of the company, SaleSqueze. Leon, the floor is yours.
Okay. Thanks. Okay. Manufacturers are hard to buy from. So their buyers struggle to place orders while they struggle to support them in the process. And at SaleSqueze, we are building a solution to solve this problem. We are a team of 18 people. We've been on the market for 3 years, and we've generated over 1.2 million in revenue in this period with only 165,000 euros raised. Our business model was evolving from the stage where we did custom projects, so the unscalable way, and in search of scale, we moved towards more B2B SaaS-like solution. We are not there yet, but we have a clear goal in mind, and that's why we need all the help we can get. That's why we're also here. So what do we actually do? Manufacturers run their sales like it's the 90s. They rely mostly on manual tools, email, phone, catalogs to do the job, while the buyers are used to using the modern experience in their everyday life, and they demand the same experience also in B2B. Manufacturers struggle to provide them. They focus mainly on email and printed catalogs, phones to do the job, and that's why they struggle a lot. It's producing a lot of cost in sales, and it's just a heavy resource task to do in the sales back office. And it becomes especially complex when we are dealing with complex and configurable products which have many, many, many options. And this is a situation that happens a lot of times dealing with such products. So if we look at it from a bigger point of view, the sales department, more the sales back office department, is actually there to translate the customer needs to the data format that the ERP and production line understand. And they're doing that by hand. And we are in 2022, so that's, could be improved. The buyers are also changing. They are demanding B2C-like experiences also in B2B. They're also placed all over the world. They speak many languages, have many different cultures, and they would really like to place orders 24/7. They have a hard time understanding why manufacturing companies only take orders from 9 to 5 on workdays. So according to McKinsey statistics, they did a quite heavy research. 87% of buyers said that they would love to have self-service ordering. And this is also something that we did with our own pools and found out the similar stuff. Does this work? Okay. So now imagine you would have a solution where a manufacturer could place their entire product catalog online, build product configurators easily, and kickstart self-service ordering for their buyers very quickly. And on the other hand, the buyers would get a one-stop shop where they could place orders and track them through the entire process of being delivered. It's a happy day for manufacturers and buyers because this is actually what we are building. So the SaleSqueze platform allows manufacturers to publish their product catalog, build product configurators, which is really easy to do, and onboard their buyers, and they can immediately start placing orders, configuring products, and doing everything self-service. We are really focused currently on agricultural technology and industrial components markets because we know they have a lot of challenges, a lot of configuration involved, and we've proven that SaleSqueze can help in these fields, but we're also thinking a little bit ahead, so we have a lot of markets that are potential for this solution. The leadership team has a lot of experience from manufacturing, robotics, industrial processes, computer science, economics, marketing, and similar, and we are backed by a great advisory team and a team of business angels from Slovenia that are supporting us in the way. About the competition, so we've done about 300 interviews with manufacturers, and the biggest competitor of all is the status quo, or you might know it as it's always been done this way. So this is currently about 50% of all the competitor solutions. Other than that, we find a lot of custom-built systems. We see a lot of heavy Excels with the entire color palette that's available. So it's really how companies solve these problems. But apart from that, our two really good competitors are InMind Cloud, which is based on the SAP infrastructure. It is from Munich, and they are heavily venture-backed. And the other one is Configure One from US, which has seen better days. Since this is a pitch, it made sense to include. We are currently raising around, and we're going to put the money into a very good cause because manufacturers need all the help they can get, and we are on a path to building really good team and the product, and we try to ship it all over the world. A few key facts to remember. So we are a team of 18, we are generating revenue, we are cash flow positive. We've been bootstrapped till last November. We have 57 customers, 160% year-over-year growth, and we project that our net revenue retention is going to be around 150%, which even I am amazed at. So for the end, manufacturers are hard to buy from, and we're on a mission to change that forever. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Leon.
Sorry.
Jury, any questions? Mike?
If I may start, so which data problems basically do you solve? So we have seen several examples or machines, very complicated harvesting or agricultural treatment things, but it's unclear to me what data basically you generate and which problem you solve.
Okay, well, we usually import the product catalog from the ERP system, and then we take in the engineering team from the manufacturer, and they help us parameterize the products and build a configurator. You know, for let's say a CNC machine or a plastic machine, all their options, stuff like that.
So this is sales supporting tool.
Yeah.
For a configurator like with a car, you know exactly then which features it has.
Yeah. What's the business logic? How it affects pricing. How much it
costs and so on. Okay.
Yeah, and it's, usual tools are custom made for specific products, but what we allow is for the manufacturer to easily support their entire catalog. It could be 20, 30, 40,000 products.
To set it up, does the customer pay you for that work?
Yeah,
okay.
Usually.
Could you explain a little more in detail your revenue generation model?
Yeah, so we currently have our own internal sales team. We also have a partnership network of mostly ERP companies. We use that to generate sales. And our model is we usually charge a setup cost, which is around 25,000 euros, but can go up to 100,000, depends on the level of services. But the main challenge is to teach them on one product that we do together how to use the platform, and then they can do it themselves. And apart from that, we have value-based pricing, so it grows with the amount of orders that are processed through the system.
So you charge per order?
We charge per order, yeah.
Okay.
Or per bundle of orders.
So if you want to grow now, which you apparently want to, what are your ideas of expand your sales force?
Yeah, so we are thinking about establishing a company here in Austria. We would like to start building the partner ecosystem, so ERP and IT providers locally, which prove as a really good partner in Slovenia. And we would also like to establish sales pods, so Austria and Germany, sales teams that are small but operate on a specific metrics in a specific region.
So the largest part of the 1.5 million you want to raise is going into marketing and sales.
Expansion, yeah. We have a pretty good engineering team that has some SAP professionals and stuff like that. So we are probably going to keep the engineering in Slovenia, but only expand sales.
What is your focus customer? Is it more like an SME or more like a also big corporate company?
Currently, we work best with mid-market manufacturers, so 20 to 100 million, mostly family-owned. These are the best because they grew out of the garage. They have huge bill of materials problems, usually, for variable products. We have a lot of expertise in that field, so we can help them sort the mess so they are able to scale. Not by adding people, but by automating.
My question is the same. When I want to use your product, so I have to implement inside at home? In company on my IT?
No, it's cloud.
Only, it is still so I use your platform.
Yeah, okay. You only connect the ERP. Okay.
Thank you. Any other questions? No. So thank you very much to Leon. Big applause for the last speech. Yep. So. It was intense. We had 5 pitches. First one, Adapta Robotics Romania, Pragma from Greece, Robotiq.ai Croatia, RVmagnetics Slovakia, and SaleSqueze Slovenia. So I would like to thank once more to the jury, especially to Mr. Johan Hipfel, business angel and manager of Hibek, Peter Kopfer, coming from Voestalpine team, Mr. Velmut Vognigner, I hope I pronounced it right, from Andritz, and Miss Martina Malakova, especially because she came all the way from Bratislava for this day. So the jury will have a jury deliberation meeting after the session and will decide on the first place winner that will receive an award from AWS, our biggest exclusive supporter in this group, a service that would help these startups to connect to corporates in Austria. AWS usually works with Austrian startups, helping them in this regards, but this opportunity they gave it also to international startups in order to keep the value exchange between corporates and international